How to forgive without being manipulated again. Forgiveness is often described as a powerful act of healing, but for many people who have been hurt, betrayed, or manipulated, the word itself feels loaded. Forgiveness does not mean excusing harmful behavior, forgetting the pain, or allowing someone to mistreat you again. True forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the grip of resentment while also learning how to protect your boundaries so that the same cycle does not repeat itself. Here's how you can forgive without opening the door to further manipulation. Forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. It is a conscious choice to release bitterness and anger so that these emotions no longer control your life. It does not mean you must reconcile, resume the relationship, or trust the individual again. By shifting your perspective, you can separate the act of letting go from the danger of enabling someone who might hurt you again. 2. Separate trust from forgiveness. One of the biggest mistakes people make is equating forgiveness with trust. Forgiveness can be instant, a decision to stop carrying emotional poison. Trust, on the other hand, must be rebuilt gradually, if at all. If someone has a history of manipulation, lying, or gaslighting, it is perfectly healthy to forgive them internally, but withhold your trust. This distinction keeps your heart free while keeping your boundaries intact. 3. Set firm boundaries. Boundaries are your defense system against repeated manipulation. Forgiveness without boundaries becomes an open invitation for the manipulator to repeat their behavior. Decide what you will and will not tolerate. That may mean limiting contact, saying no without guilt, or even cutting ties if necessary. Boundaries communicate to others that while you have released resentment, you also value and protect yourself. Manipulators are often skilled at apologizing when caught, only to return to the same tactics later. To forgive wisely, look for consistent changes in behavior, not just words. A genuine apology is backed by accountability, honesty, and action. If the person continues the same behavior, it is your responsibility to step back, no matter how much you've forgiven them in your heart. 5. Heal your emotional triggers. Manipulators thrive by exploiting emotional triggers: your guilt, empathy, or fear of conflict. Part of forgiving without being manipulated again involves healing these vulnerable areas within yourself. Learn to recognize when you're being guilt-tripped, love-bombed, or pressured into compliance. When you strengthen your self-awareness, you reduce the chances of being pulled back into toxic cycles. 6. Forgive without re-engaging. Sometimes the safest way to forgive is from a distance. You can release anger privately, journal your feelings, or use meditation and prayer to find peace. Forgiveness does not require you to inform the manipulator or give them another chance. It is perfectly valid to forgive and simultaneously cut off contact if that protects your well-being. 7. Use forgiveness as empowerment. Instead of seeing forgiveness as giving the other person a pass, view it as reclaiming your power. When you forgive, you stop allowing the past to dictate your emotional state. But when you add wisdom, boundaries, and discernment, you also prevent the same harm from recurring. This balance is the key to forgiving without being manipulated again. Conclusion: forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, but it is not an invitation for others to mistreat you. By understanding the difference between forgiveness and trust, setting healthy boundaries, and paying attention to patterns, you can protect yourself while still choosing peace over bitterness. True forgiveness is not about reopening old doors. It's about closing them with grace and moving forward with strength.